Mean, median, and mode. The mean, or average of a set of values, is the result of adding up all the values and dividing by the number of values. The mean is particularly handy when values are about as likely to fall above as below the average, such as people's heights or the average transaction amount at a retailer or service wait times. The median is a more representative measure of the middle when there are extreme values, outliers, in the mix. This is why, for instance, we usually refer to the median income rather than the average income, since a few zillionaires shift the average up, and by doing so, the average does not reflect the middle quite as well as the median. The mode is the most frequent value in some set. Using mode makes sense when items are discrete things and not mathematical quantities. So the average sales, in dollars and cents, at the ice cream counter is useful. The average flavor is nonsensical. Mode is not a term you may have heard often. Its cousins, mean and median, are more common, and both are especially suitable when the distribution of values under analysis clusters around a middle. The point is that you should be familiar with mean, median, and mode, and use the statistic best suited to the values you are analyzing. Let's consider some applications. If you are providing a product or service that comes in different sizes, counts, tiers, etc., it's useful to know the relative popularity of each offering. For example, if you run a shoe store, it can be helpful to know which sizes are in demand. Sometimes there won't be a single very common item, but in fact two or more. For example, if you offer products in sizes extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large, you may discover that you sell a lot of small and of large and a relatively few of the others. We call this kind of pattern bimodal. In the case of multiple modes, you guessed it, we call it multimodal. There is little value in knowing the average shoe size, unless by average you mean the most common, which is probably what people intend. Knowing the median shoe size sold is also unhelpful. Mode, the frequency or count of a specific value, is often shown using a histogram, a diagram of rectangles, each of whose height is proportional to the frequency of an item. Mode offers direct value for managing things such as inventory. Knowing the mode for past sales might influence how you arrange products within a physical store, either to maximize customer convenience by placing the most popular items at eye height or near the front, or to encourage patrons to pass through the displays by placing popular items at the rear. When discussing the frequency with which particular things occur, consider identifying the mode and those nearly as common, as well as determining if you have a single mode, bimodal, or multimodal distribution. For each mode may require a targeted campaign. You're likely to run into a discussion of average or median more often than mode. Let's say that the annual salaries of 6 people are $47,500, $61,000, $322,800, $78,600, $34,250, and $55,000. The average or mean salary is $99,858, which is a good deal higher than all but the top pay, and therefore not representative of the group. The mean is off because one large value, an outlier, is pulling up the average. The median, the middle value of the salaries when sorted, is $58,000, which is much more typical. The median captures the spread of salaries better because the statistic isn't really influenced by outliers. Calculating mode here would offer no value because each salary is unique, and even if there were some people with the same salary, it wouldn't characterize the range of salaries well. Be on guard when you are presented with an average that may be heavily influenced by outliers. Also, if the mean and median are not close to each other, neither statistic may be the right one to employ. In general, calculate or ask for both statistics.